Luna Ascending by Zaina Wilder. Copyright Zaina Wilder 2024. All rights reserved. Chapter 10. Freya. The next few days merge miserably into weeks of grey nothingness. My distraught voicemails for Dirk are left unanswered. It takes me hours to pluck up the courage to send each one, and nothing. No response. I've only met the man a few times. I shouldn't feel this shaken up just because he thinks badly of me. In fact, maybe I got off lightly. Someone who can turn so vicious with such vitriolic anger and who refuses to listen to an explanation isn't a nice person. Seriously, how dare he swan into my life and expect I've just been sitting around waiting for him? Mark gave me a massage to my temples a week before that date with Dirk. Dirk and we were on a first date. He has no right whatsoever to expect I've been celibate recently, and even more frustratingly, I have been. He's probably the kind of guy that would expect I was a bloody virgin too. I swing erratically between an anger of epic proportions and a dull, self-pitying upset. But mostly, I'm just lonely. Liz dropped by a couple of times, but it's difficult not to resent her happiness with TV. It makes me a crappy friend, and I know it. She seems more removed, more standoffish somehow, and completely oblivious to how awful I feel. When I try and tell her, she vanishes for days without a word. Even my gorgeous plants seem affected by my gloom. Vera, my magnificent aloe vera plant, is growing some kind of mould. The bathroom's accoutrement of spider plants have died completely, and even the neighbour's cat has stopped visiting, probably put off by my aura of self-loathing. To top it off, my most prized books seem to have caught on to my mood and threw themselves out the bookcase in attempted suicide this morning, right onto the floor. Maybe the apartment block is finally subsiding beyond repair. Damn it, why is everything so bleak? If I'm not careful, I'm going to fall behind with my paintings. Then what? I shudder at the thought. There's always something going wrong right now. Even the littlest everyday mishap is a hurdle. And now that my migraines are ramping up again, I feel like I'm at the end of the line. I have to do something, anything to break myself out of this damn rut. Mark has been texting repeatedly, and I've mostly ignored him. Somehow in my head he's partly to blame for the disaster with Dirk. It's not really his fault though, and I know it deep down. Eventually, the guilt for blaming him, coupled with his bloody-minded persistence, makes me cave. Messaging him is better than being alone, and I really can't be doing with being alone with my thoughts. Not again. Initially, all I do is simply reply, turning him down for a coffee, claiming my migraine is too bad. Of course, he reminds me about his magic touch. I have to admit, the idea of him settling this pain is a really nice one, especially today, when my flat's lights are misbehaving. The flickering is making my head so much worse. There's nothing stopping me meeting Mark. Not really. Dirk obviously isn't interested. And if he was, it wasn't ever going to work out anyway. There was always going to be the awkward thing with his family. He was tight-lipped, but they blatantly live in some kind of commune. Maybe that's why he had such an explosive reaction. Not only was he dating outside of whatever weird and wonderful sect he's part of, but I was seen socialising with other men. Maybe that's a no-no with their cult thing. I'm clutching at straws, and I know it. I have to stop making excuses for his asshole behaviour. It's time to move forward. Going for coffee with Mark is weird. I've not been out my flat socially in weeks. It's pretty nice to see the world moving around me, doing its own thing. Mark does the same odd massage on my temples, and my migraine vanishes. It's already the best day I've had in ages. He's on his best behaviour, perfectly charming and even being nice to the waitress. My shoulders sag, and I finally start to relax a little. It's pleasant to have some attention and feel like a normal human being again. I've missed getting out. So, Freya, since you're already feeling better in my company with my magical massage, would you come on another date with me? Shit, it hadn't really crossed my mind that he thought this was a date. And it throws me. As if sensing my hesitation, he presses on. I need your help. I have this big old family function coming up. If I don't bring a date, I'll have to spend hours and hours fending off distant relatives attempting to set me up with the most inappropriate matches. Half-cousins, hideous regent daughters of moneyed friends, the occasional spinster double my age. So, what do you say, ma chérie? Will you save me? I'd be doing him a favour? We giggle about how families never really know what's best for us, and I find myself agreeing to be his date. The idea of a crowd of unknown people is alarming, but I can't be a hermit forever. Even if the whole evening is awful, it'll be a sudden, sharp shock to the system. My mental black hole is eating me alive. Mark seals the deal by promising not to leave my side for the whole event. From what I know, Mark's family are old money, high class, refined. Laughter bubbles up inside as I picture my stepdad's stupid face if he were to see who I'm hanging out with these days. I wonder if I can pull off the high society attitude or if I'll stick out like a sore thumb.